Hello friends, David Bose here. Well, hope you guys are having a great day. I am in Arkansas visiting my daughter. Beautiful in Arkansas. Whoa, man. Saw some beautiful things yesterday. Went on some walks the last couple days. So I've been pretty busy, haven't been able to make a video. Haven't ever gotten back to some of the issues that we were talking about. We were talking about I had planned on doing a seventh video in a series, and then there was another series and another one. I never got to the last of the videos of each of these. I think we need to continue on. This is all really just one big series, isn't it? I mean, everything that we've been learning and going through, it's just, it's like saying, whoa, this is crazy. I was watching television with my daughter yesterday, and there's a guy on there on YouTube that debates with people. Not even sure what his name was. I've seen him before. But he goes to the colleges and universities and he'll debate with the students on things. He's kind of a conservative, I guess. You would say that's what he is. He'll debate like change my mind. That socialism is the best way of governing because he's a capitalist, I guess. So he's I guess you would say conservative. Anyway, they were debating about socialism. And man, the whole time he was sitting there debating, even though I kind of sympathized with him, I'm certainly not a socialist. After all, I grew up in this country. I'm an American. Jeez. Right? Oh, there you go. You see, we're programmed to say, I don't like socialism. I hate communism. That's changing a bit now, of course. Just to upset the apple cart, of course, to, make confusion. But American is a capitalist, dadgummit. But this guy seems like, oh, he's so courageous. He's going right to the university and he's getting right to the liberals and he's telling them where it's at and, they can't argue with him. By golly, there's never been a country in the world that's been a socialist country that's ever had so many wonderful things and the same pile of poop that you hear all the time. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, what pile of poop, Dave? What are you talking about? What are you, a communist? No, friends, listen. It's just like the same thing going on here that was going on with religion. It's like this little switcheroony they do on you. Now where'd the little marble go that was under the cup? Can you guess which one of the cups it's under? And really it's a sleight of hand. You're never going to guess because it's an illusion and they're trying to deceive you, and it's just this little game. But we're playing a much bigger game here. This is a much bigger game, friends. We got to wake up. I told my daughter, I said, while this was going on, I said, this is just like two cows out in a feeder lot. One of the cows is up on a pile of manure, and he's saying, hey, man, I'm protesting the way that they've given us these instructions to go to the slaughterhouse. I think we should go in the other truck, or, and the other cow's like, no, man. Oh, I can prove you wrong. That truck is very bouncy and it's not very comfortable. We should be going in the other truck to the slaughterhouse. And then there's one cow. He jumped over the fence and he's out eating daisies down there by the brook and he's enjoying beautiful paradise. And he's going to live his life to its fullest. Probably, I don't know how long cows live, but he's going to live a long, happy life eating daisies and drinking from a still cold brook. And he's not going to be like overweight with lesions on his underside and blisters on his feet and basically just eating this high carbohydrate genetically modified food so he can get fat so that you can eat him. But he never realizes this the whole time. He's under this delusion. Well, that's what's happening here. You see, the same exact people who run communist Russia are now here running capitalist America. And they throw these words out there Like, well, of course you've got to be capitalist because that means, free trade. I mean, we're all free here. All right, that's a good word, free trade, although we're not free traders. Free trade is when I make things and do my thing, and you make things and do your thing, and we share our stuff and we trade our stuff. It has nothing to do with money or taxes or some sort of interest rates or banking or anything like that. And the same thing is true with communists. Well, that's a good word. Communism, sure. It just means to commune, right? How about socialism? Shouldn't we all be social? These words, you can't just, be afraid of words. What you need to be afraid of is government of any kind or any form of it. We are in a corporate tyranny here in this country. You can't give any examples of a socialist country being prosperous because socialism is not meant to succeed. It's meant to control the masses. It's a government. It's bureaucracy. So in this country, we have to have an excuse for certain individuals to be ruling over us. So we say, oh, well, it's capitalism. You can't help it. These guys are rich. They own everything. Hey, get used to it. Socialism never works. So we got to have this capitalist system, which means we got to have these people that run all these businesses and corporations. They're going to buy and purchase our senators. We're not going to have representation. But hey, we enjoy it. This is wonderful. We're the human beings out here. The little rat running around in a cage. They throw cheese into our cage once in a while. We love it because we've been conditioned to pretend we don't understand anything. Like somebody just tells you, don't say anything bad about Nazi Germany. But wait a minute, isn't that socialism? Oh, well, yeah, okay. So you like socialism, but, you hate Nazis. That's socialism. You say, yeah, but capitalism, see, that's always been great. Okay, how many people did Hitler murder? Well, I don't know, let's say one war, right? The Second World War. Oh, okay. Maybe there was millions. But the entire world got together from the Russian side, the American side, the European side, and they came against Germany, and it was a war, all right? Whether you approve of the war, agree with the war, I don't agree with any war. However, if we were all in a village and people were coming and surrounding the village and taking our women and taking our possessions and things like that, then we would go and defend ourselves. Maybe that's a moral type of war. Well, I'm not saying it's an absolute morality, but it was true that Germany had been abused and they were starving. Before World War II, the people of Germany were starving. They had no money. It was an unwinnable situation. It was not possible to just sit there and you certainly can't ask Germany to just lay down and die. They had to do something. Most people are never told that Germany was having not just a depression, but Germany had literally collapsed because of the pressure of the outside world. They weren't allowed to sell their products. And just like Venezuela or Soviet Union, the capitalists, the people who own all the money, the corporate capitalists, pressured them. We're doing that now with China, right? We're pressuring them to lower their tariffs. With this capitalist system, we can pressure countries to fall, to collapse. And so we made Germany collapse. Now, they had to fight back. You could at least imagine in your mind, okay, well, they had some kind of right to fight back. Maybe that's some sort of moralism. But the United States, really? Did we have to go to Vietnam? Did we have to go to Korea? Did we have to go to Afghanistan? Were they the ones responsible for 9/11? Is any of this really any more moral? Is any one war or emperor or one president or one leader any more moral than anyone else? Because what it boils down to is that you go to Germany and there are buildings there. Banks, buildings, stores. The same thing here in America, China, Japan, everywhere. Iran. It's simply governments trying to justify their existence and their rulership over the people. And then there are these things called the media, which is supposed to be, oh, it's supposed to be part of our government. It's a good thing. They're telling us all the news, but it's propaganda. And so we're so deceived. We're like cows standing on our manure pile, trying to convince each other that our fenced-in pile of manure is better than their fenced-in pile of manure, because maybe they're getting a different diet. Instead of genetically modified corn, maybe they're getting genetically modified soy, right? Okay, so that makes their diet better or something. No. They're all going to slaughter. They're not going to have to worry about how long they live. They don't have to worry about their figures, because all these cows are getting fattened to die. And that is exactly what's going on with our world. And so I think, while it may be entertaining to watch some guy on YouTube prove that capitalism is better than socialism or whatever, yay, yay, I'm a patriot, but it doesn't fix anything. Friends, we're dying. And it goes so deep. It isn't just government, although that is so profoundly important that we understand that we are being destroyed because of government rules and laws. Oh, they're sitting there arguing about whether or not we should have completely free speech or not. Well, America has free speech. We're the only country, and it's the best thing in the world. And nobody notices that we don't have any free speech. See, I came right up to the edge of free speech just now, telling you about Germany. If I went any further, you'd probably have this video flagged, shut down, my whole channel. Oh, yeah, they've already done that to me. Because, you see, they don't want you to talk about things that might expand someone's mind or wake up the cattle. Because if the cattle ever wake up, we'll bust through the fence and we'll go out there and we'll have some daisies. And we'll find out how beautiful it is on the other side of that mountain. And we'll live free. We'll live free or die free. Friends, that's the only way to live. But we're not free. And so what are we going to do? Are we ever going to come out of this? Well, I'm going to tell you something, friends. No. Not right now. I know a lot of you are saying, oh, Jesus is coming tomorrow or whatever. No. Jesus is going to come within you. His kingdom does not come with observableness. Not by outward signs. Not by some physical means, friends. But it comes when it comes inside the population. When the people begin to understand and are willing to wake up. Christ is in the boat, but he's sleeping. The boat is you, society. Christ is in us. We are the children of the living God. But our inner spiritual powerful man, who's free, by the way, he's a son of God, he's free. He's sleeping right now. He's just a baby until he comes of age to take the throne. And the time hasn't arrived. You know why I know? Because you don't want to take the throne and take charge and be responsible. None of you do. If you did, you'd do it. It's that simple. Come and follow me, Jesus said. But none of them wanted to follow. They had excuses. I've got to go bury my father. I've got to, I just, found a wife, and then we got to go have a wedding, and, something's going on. I got a house I got to build now, right? Children are coming. This world's waiting for me. I've got to go get a job. I'm a slave. I can't believe how many people think that the only thing that's important these days is jobs. And if we have more jobs and progress and we suck more oil out of the ground, that somehow this is going to be great. What does progress mean? We've got, 500 million people in this country? Dang near? All right, what are we going to do? Progress till we get to the size of China? We've got a whole billion of them. And then what? It's overpopulation. Well, we've already got that. But it's getting worse. And so how do we combat that? Well, more government, right? More rules, more laws. We don't want no pushing and shoving as we're going to the slaughter. This is progress? We better wake up, friends. Oh, man. But, we're not going to, because you don't want to. You love that shiny new truck, that little toy. You put it in four-wheel drive and go out there, and you're just having so much fun, and you think, wow, I mean, I've never had it so good. The world has never had it so good. That's why capitalism is supposed to be so great, right? The trickle-down thing. Yeah, we're not billionaires, but we're having a great time, right? We're out there in our four-wheel drives and our Prius down the freeway, and we got our suit and tie, and we're playing Parcheesi and shag carpet and beautiful flat screen 60-inch television sets with what I mean, we're having a great time, right? Now they even let us smoke marijuana. Whew, man, we got it made. Except we're depressed, we're sick, and we're dying. All right? Even if this was the best world you could imagine, you had everything you wanted, which you don't. But even if you did, how long would you be able to enjoy it? You get to enjoy it when you retire. How long is that? Well, it'd be great if you had some time, but you're going to be in the hospital, because all that cholesterol built up plaque on your arteries, and you can barely breathe. You can't do any water skiing or anything like that because you don't have the energy, literally, to walk that far. You get a tube up your nose and you're in the hospital. This is not life. Your Uncle Joe's in prison. Perhaps this is really great for one or two families for a period of time. They get on top of the hill. They're the king of the hill for a while, but most of us are out here suffering. We're in the ditch with a whiskey bottle and a paper bag, right? Or we're in prison, or we're screaming obscenities at our wife, and she's slamming the door and running out to the car and going to grandma's, and our children are rebellious, and the whole world's fighting, and we're celebrating. What are we celebrating? What do we really celebrate? A boxing match on television where some guy beats the crap out of somebody else? This is it. This is what we look forward to, a boxing match. I just watched the boxing match the other night, and I thought it was a great fight. I enjoyed it. I got my adrenaline going. But that was it. That's all I had to look forward to this week. And getting on, of course, and talking to you guys. Because even though I've tried to get out of this world, I'm still here. I'm still in this world with you. And it's still sad to see the rest of society just fighting and squabbling and, listening to politics argue nonsense, whether or not it's okay for us to just go forward pretending now that there is no gender, that old men can dress up like girls and we can just pretend that that's okay. My daughter was telling me yesterday that now it's a new thing that you can just tell your insurance company you're female if you're a male, because they get a discount, right? Females are better drivers. They get a discount on their insurance. So you just write down that you're female. I guess somebody did that and they went to court and they had the right to identify as a female, so they got away with it. So I was thinking, well, okay, this is great. What kind of a world are we living in now? Really? I'm just so glad that I don't feel the need to pretend in my mind that all of this is just okay. I'm relieved that much of the burdens of this world that many of the people in this world have, I've managed to walk away from. Look, I'm not cutting anyone down. If you hear something in my voice that sounds like I'm being judgmental, I don't mean to be, because I've been in this world my entire life. I know exactly what it feels like. I'm just being truthful, being honest, that I know why we're not going to get out of this anytime soon. There isn't enough people in the world that even want to be free. I know what cattle do. They just meander in a line behind each other. The cowboy comes in with his horse and he rounds them up and they just go right into the stall, right in through the little gate, and they go into the corral and they get branded. And the sheep gets led to the slaughter. I mean, this is just how it works. You say, what's going to happen, Dave? Are we ever going to make it? How are we going to fix this? if we're just cows? Well, we've got to learn that we're not cows. But again, that's that dual thing. Animals don't have awareness like human beings. They don't transcend their cowness. They're always just cows. They don't speculate and dream and imagine what it would be like beyond the fence. But you see, human beings can do that. And we dream, but we're dreaming about the wrong things. We're dreaming about physical pursuits. There's a few people that dream about going to the moon, right? They want to be an astronaut. Well, they got that idea from the propaganda as a child. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be an astronaut. I'm Amelia Earhart. I want to fly around the world. That's great, flying around the world. But why is it that she's the only hero? Why is she such a big hero for us? Because her idea was to fly around the world in one of these fancy airplanes. You see, it has to do with technology, and they want people to dream like that so you could join the army or the military. So that's a good pursuit for you to dream. So they're telling you what to dream. That's what you dream about. You want to be in the military. You want to fly an airplane, right? The big dreamers. Or maybe you just want to be a cook at a Denny's restaurant and flip burgers. I don't know. But, you can make your own dream. Maybe you want to be a brain surgeon. Is that your dream? Or did they put that in you? I would say that it's a worthy dream to know how to make people well. The problem is that if you're going to dream big and you want to help people, don't be deceived. Nobody's ever been helped by this world, by these university teachers, by these dossiers. These PhD buffoons are lying to you. If you really want to help people and you want to learn to do something great, you need to think outside the box. The problem is whenever somebody comes along who's really smart, he thinks about something and he invents something that's new, right? Nowadays we just got people who want to be doctors like other doctors. But if you really want to do something that no one's ever done, you're going to have to think outside the box and be different and say, I don't believe these other people. That's how you come up with a real idea, right? When they found out the earth was really round and it wasn't the center of the universe, that was different. And many of them got murdered and martyred and hung on stakes and burned alive for being different, for thinking for themselves. See, so they're construing that with, now you're supposed to be, if you want to be like Newton or Galileo or Copernicus or whatever, and you want to be a scientist, and you want to be like a great scientist, a thinker, a philosopher, somehow that means you got to be like them. No. The ones that we revere, the ones that we look up to, they weren't like anybody else. They shook off the old ways and they realized that they were living a lie, and they came up with the truth. And then when they got the truth, the elite took that truth and tried to squash it, and if they couldn't squash it, then they had to infiltrate it and use it for their own advantage. So they said, oh, you can make a light bulb, can you, Tesla? Well, now we're going to own Westinghouse, right? It's our company. We're going to make billions of money off of it, even though your idea, Mr. Tesla, was to have free energy for everybody. See, now we're going to monopolize on what you've done and abuse you, and you're not going to get a dime for this. But you know what? Tesla probably didn't care whether he got a dime from it, because his desire was to learn and to know the truth and to move forward properly. So, I'm not being negative here. I'm not saying, oh, well, there's nothing to look forward to. We're all going to just die. No, we're not going to die. We're moving forward. Progress is moving forward, right? I mean, we don't have legalized slavery anymore. Well, okay, not exactly like we used to anymore. At least we know in theory that it's wrong to have slaves. However, now we're all just willing slaves, right? We think it's important to have a job. We just changed the word from slave to worker. We've changed the word from a servant to one who has a job. So we've changed the vernacular, but we're still slaves. You cannot eat if you don't do what they tell you to do. You'll get fired, and they'll put a little asterisk by your name, and you won't get hired at the next job. Well, who would want to work for these people? Let's find something else to do with our lives, friends. Let's invent a better world. All right? But we thought it was flat. We thought it was the center of the universe. Then we realized it wasn't. Perhaps it's round. And now you want to go back to it being flat? Come on, let's expand our horizons. This thing is a hologram. It's a fake world. Let's expand our horizons and get the heck out of this feeder lot, right? And stop listening to that big cow, that big fat cow going to slaughter. It's on top of the pile of crap, right? Let's get the heck out of here. I'm busting through the fence. Anybody want to come? I'm going to go out here where the daisies are, this beautiful green meadow. You want to come? Oh man, it's beautiful. That's the good news. That's what we got to do, friends. We got to head on out to the field of daisies. And and guess what? Over there in that area where the daisies are, everybody just is so happy. We just love each other. And none of the cows are going to be ruling over you. Nobody in cowboy hats is going to come and round us up. Right? If they do, we're going to whatever. Get out of here, right? We're not going. Right? You're not luring us back into that cage with the cheese. And we're going to be free. We're going to be happy. We're going to live our lives the way we're supposed to live. But I want to caution you. Be careful. Make sure you know what you want. And make sure you know what part of yourself is actually wanting that. Because there's different things. I mean, like, you may want that pizza. Oh, that pizza looks good. I want to eat that pizza. But maybe that pizza is going to make you fat. And you don't want that. What do you really want? Do you want to be fat? Do you want to be sick? Do you want all that candy? You could eat all that candy. See, you got to remember that it's not just a matter of what you want. You may want that four-wheel drive truck or that Prius or that Corvette or whatever. You may want that with all your heart. That beautiful woman that only cares about how much money you can bring to her and what you can do for her. But you see, what you really want is the love of your life, the person who's your best friend. But you never find your best friend because your eyes are looking somewhere else. And you never realize that need inside of you to be free, you're ignoring it. And instead, you're following after the pizza. You're following after the flashy display of one's means of life, the Bible says. And it's never satiated. It's we've got to make a decision, friends. We've got to start getting serious. Because I see all these people that are Bible students or they're studying Eastern religion or whatever. And they're sitting around, they got these candles, and they're going, but they're not enlightened. They're not getting anywhere, right? It can say Jesus a million times. And, you can dunk yourself under the water as many times as you want and eat the wafer. But it's not working because we're fooling ourselves. That's not what that's about. It's not about that. What is it about? Well, it's about a man who represents something. That man is free. That man is the Son of God. That man crucified his flesh. And he raised up on the third day. And he ascended to the right hand of power. And whatever he binds on earth shall be bound in heaven, buddy. And that man is happy. He is the Lord. And that man is you. If you identify with him, if you are in him, then you are all these things. But if you are not in Christ, and if you don't identify as Christ, then you're none of his. Because the flesh cannot inherit the kingdom of our Father in heaven. And all these flashy things and luxuries and all this pizza is just making us sick. And we can't sit there and deceive ourselves into thinking this is really life. Oh man, I mean, let's argue about what kind of government we're going to have over us. Friend, you're a ruler. You're going to sit on a throne. You're going to have dominion over this world. Why do you want to argue about what kind of government these evil devils are going to have over you? One way or the other, they're ruling over you. You don't have any free speech, my friend. You don't even have any free thought because you've never actually had the time or the wherewithal to even come up with these ideas that are natural. You wouldn't even have to learn this. It would just be natural to you. But from the time you were born into this world, you were propagandized. You were lied to. You've been deceived. And you've got to wake up. It's that simple. It's hard to wake up when it's not a natural sleep, but you've been drugged. See, the first chance you get, you start waking up a little bit and you realize you've been drugged. Start looking around who's drugging you and stay away from them. Don't let them put that drug in your drink anymore. You got to start realizing that bottle of tequila, that's what's making you sleepy. Okay? Stay away from it. Right? Wake up. You can't just keep drinking the tequila and think, oh, hey, I'm going to be free. I'm going to have everything I want. And hey, I'm going to be spiritual. And I'm going to find Christ. And I'm going to save the world. No, you're not. You love that tequila too much, friend. You love your cars and your houses and your materialistic things and all of your materialistic ways. And until somebody goes out there and makes a decision that this is what we're going to do, it's not going to get any better. We need an example. So, if there's any of you out there that think that this is the correct way to think about this world, well, hey, let's get together and let's meet and let's discuss this. There's like a real option here. Because, you see, we're gregarious beings. We need each other. We need friends. We need the association of the brothers. And we need to not just sit somewhere depressed in our bedrooms, drinking our tequila saying, yeah, I want to be free. But let's do it. Let's get together and let's just boycott this stupid world. We'll stop watching this garbage on the television. We'll get together. We'll go out there with the cow smelling the daisies and we'll drink from the still clean running brook. And we'll just leave it all behind. And we'll be happy. We'll be friends. And we'll get together and we'll discuss how we can change this world so that other people can see the truth about this. So that's my recommendation. Over the next few months, I'm going to be putting this out there. See if I can find an area where there's a bunch of people that might want to get together and talk about these issues. And hey, maybe I'll be in your town very soon. So I'm going to go ahead and close it here, see what you guys think, and I hope you have a really great day. I am David Vos, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a good one.